Good morning, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. It's early in the morning, but my clock's going to reset in a bit. Just getting together. Got a little coffee going. Trying to get some breakfast hooked up over here. Get a shower in, and hit the road in another hour and a half or so. Anyway, a quick follow-up. I did that video on Smart Hop yesterday, and I had asked my dispatcher if it'd be okay to do something a little bit more in depth. I didn't want to post anything that might be technology based or data based that might infringe on either some copyrights, trademarks, that kind of thing. Like I said in my other video, I have a really good relationship and I didn't want to rock the boat. Apparently my video made its way to the top over at Smart Hop, and they have since reached out, and I've been in communication with some marketing people and even one of the owners over there, and I might be getting my hands on some beta technology that I'm going to be testing for them. And of course, if I can, I'm going to ask if I can do a product review and show you guys what they use and what's up and coming. This is technology they're going to put in the driver's hands, so the driver has more control. It sounds in concept, it sounds really good, and I had a few lengthier conversations with them yesterday. They were quick to reach out, man. They apparently they liked the video, and so hopefully that leads to something really good, really positive. If I get to be one of the first to get my hands on this technology, that's pretty cool. And if I get to bring it to my viewers, that's even better. Anyway, a few viewers have been saying, hey, well, give us regular updates on Amazon. We'd like to see what that's like. I did log in here a minute ago, and there's substantially more loads in their system. Not so much for the inbound stuff. There's 208 loads where the carrier brings their own trailer. You can see there where it says trailer status, trailer required. But if we look at the, oops, got fingers today, fellas. If we look at trailer provided, in other words, power only, there's 1,483 loads. I want to say the last time I looked, there was barely 1,000 total loads. And so this is a little bit of an uptick, a little bit more activity for those of you guys that are exclusive Amazon. I think this is a little bit of an improvement. And so I know a lot of you do the power only. Right now I have this set to show us anywhere to anywhere. And so that being the case, this is power only all over the country. And so this is going to show the soonest time-wise. In other words, the next to be loaded ASAP, and so some of these rates should be pretty good. There's a Teams only heading out to Aurora, Colorado at $2,800. There's a tour, a short one, out of Vacaville, which is Northern California. Here's another one heading out to Stockton. I'm not sure what that location is. Gazelle, California. I'm not familiar. I'm not going to pretend that I know every town in California. There's a load from Phoenix, Arizona out to Idaho. $1.28 a mile is pretty cheap. That's a 26-foot box truck, which is, it surprises me they send box trucks on 900-mile trips. But maybe they're trying to squeeze those poor guys worse than they do the semi trucks, and just do something cheaper. Personally, I wouldn't run a box truck cross country. Oh, excuse me. So here's another one out to Colorado. It's a 250-mile trip at $3.24 a mile. There's Casper, Wyoming, out to Colorado, also at 3 and change. Fresno, heading out to Oregon, it's a team load at $2.64. That's better than the buck something they try to hit the poor team guys with. There's a short tour, really short tour at 47 miles, $5.53 a mile. Lancaster, New York, a short tour, looks like a day and a half. This would be like a typical solo too. You know, it's a day plus 6 hours. And this is kind of, to that end, the point I'm always trying to make. Why are people taking solo 2 tours or blocks at, you know, $1,100 or $1,200? You know, there's $1,522. That's closer to what it should be. I'd like to see another $300 to $400 on that. That's just me. Maybe put that per mile rate at about $250. Then it's kind of a decent deal, especially for a power only. There's a 73-mile little trip, just under $400. Salt Lake City, heading out to Washington, $2,300. You know, at least the per mile rate there is better. There's a Pennsylvania to North Carolina for $1,400. I'll tell you guys, I'm doing a load from North Carolina heading up that way, and I know I just did a thing on Smart Hop. They're getting me substantially more money per mile in that same region. You guys really should look into them. I mean, now I sound like a commercial for them, don't I? I'm going to stop because that's kind of not what I try to do. So here's Pennsylvania to North Carolina, $1,400. There's a little tour out of Tracy, $400 for 129 miles. There's Stockton to Mira Loma. That's kind of market typical. If you go on a load board, that's about what you'll get going from Northern California to Southern California. $1,000. You know, $900 to $1,200 is kind of the norm, and so that lands like right in the middle. If they really do get you, you know, in and out in 9 hours from Stockton to Mira Loma, and you're done, and you do that in you do that in a 1 day period, and it's $1,000. That kind of hits my personal target of making $1,000 a day. There's a load from PA to VA, 250 miles for $826. That's not bad. It falls short a little bit of the 1,000 a day I'd like to make, but it's a 6-hour tour or a 6-hour trip according to them. It's shy of a day's pay, but it's well paid. There's Lancaster, New York, heading to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Oh, excuse me. Apparently I need to sleep a little more. And so I will say, if you take a load to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, in the Amazon world, there's not going to be a whole lot leaving there. I had a driver stranded there before. There's a short little hop, 50 miles for, you know, a little over $250. There's a Kentucky load, heading to also to Kentucky, 100 miles for $486. You know, here again, guys, there are blocks that Amazon wants us to do for just over $500, and you know, here's a little 3-hour trip, 100 miles, and it's almost paying you that $500. There's another Kentucky to Kentucky, $300. You know, if you could fit a couple of these together, like if you could grab both of these loads, the problem with Amazon is they put the timing where they both have to be picked up at the same time. If they would stretch that out and put them apart, you know, 6 hours, you could grab both of them, you know, because the per mile on each is decent at $3.50 a mile. And so if you could do both of these in a single day and then grab yourself something else to finish off the day, you know, there's an honest day's work. Anyway, there's Vacaville to Sacramento. There's another Vacaville to Sacramento. Again, you know, if you could grab both of these, if they didn't make it where they're both scheduled to be picked up at the same time, so it wouldn't hurt your performance schedule, you know, that's not a bad thing. There's Rochester, New York to Imperial, Pennsylvania for $900. You know, that's a decent little load. 9 hours work according to them, so it ends up boiling down to about $100 an hour. That's nothing bad. There's Vacaville to Sacramento. Another Rochester to Imperial. There's a little Kentucky deal. You know, some of these loads aren't bad. And so there is activity. It looks like it's picked up a little bit more, mainly in the power-only side. And so I just kind of wanted to give a quick showing of what's there, what's available. I'm not doing it by specific market. I did notice there's substantially more loads this morning. It looks like the West Coast has quite a bit of activity, which they normally don't have this much. I'm kind of hoping I'm hoping drivers out on the West Coast are starting to figure out those short-term contracts are killing their market, and maybe they're starting to not grab them, and that's what's creating the influx of more of these loads. Anyway, nothing specific here, guys. Just wanted to kind of show there is more loads available today. I think if you look through some of my more recent videos, the total amount of loads was under 1,000, and that was all in. And so I just kind of want to give a quick showing. You'll notice most of these price per mile are not bad, and I think the loads that end up in those short-term contracts end up averaging much less than this, and this is what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid us getting these types of loads, but ultimately, when they don't get them covered by the short-term contract, they still have to, I said it in another video, they can't sell what they don't have. They need their merchandise. And so if they can prevent it from costing more, they will by putting it on a short-term contract. Let's jump over to the contracts and see what that market looks like today. So there's new contracts that are getting ready to drop, and so those of you that have a curiosity of what these are going to go for, you can tune in to Trucking Topics today. I'm sure Tony will have he'll have a live stream and that's kind of what he does. So all of these contracts, the letters indicate what domicile it is. So all of the domiciles you see in this first one that says it's going to be available at 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m., all of these will drop into the listing below, which are these. And so these are all the domiciles. They will become available at 10 Pacific Standard Time. And so they'll become available and you'll be able to bid on them. ABE, let me kind of do a quick demo. And so I'm not that familiar with this, but what ends up happening is, you see here where it says accept. I'm not sure how to filter it, but there should be some that don't say accept yet. Maybe I can filter it. No, I may not know how to do this, guys. Sorry. Anyway, so getting back to these are contracts that are going to be available today. In other words, today they will be releasing new short-term contracts. And so at 10, they're going to release, all of these. So I just from recognizing them, I see Phoenix, Salt Lake City, I see Denver, I think DTW. I was going to say that was Dallas-Fort Worth, but maybe not. I see OAKW, I believe that's Oakland. Anyway, HOU I know is Houston. And so there's going to be contracts dropping today, and you'll be able to bid on them if you're on their vendor list. And so at 10:30, these are going to drop. FTW is for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. At 11, you'll have these drop, and at 11:30, you'll have those drop. And so up at the top, I got a filter on. There's 3,580 contracts available, and so around Christmas time, within a couple days or even within a day of them releasing these contracts, the available contracts would go from 3,000 and change down to under 100. So most of the contracts were eaten up. There's already 3,500 available, and then all of these are going to drop. And when I say all of these, each one of them may have 10 or 20 contracts. So the 3,500 number, look for that to be closer to 5,000. That wouldn't surprise me. And given that there's still 3,800 available, I'm kind of hoping these things aren't selling out, and maybe by chance people are getting wise and they're not taking them, and that's why the spot market load board looks a little better today. I'm not saying stick it to Amazon, but I am saying we need rates that are fair and equitable for small business and owner-operators to not just make ends meet, but make a little profit. I mean, we didn't invest in equipment and take the chance of being self-employed or starting our own corporations or whatever to survive. We did it to in the end make a little extra money. Anyway, these contracts will become available today for people to accept. I need to figure out how to look at them before they're on here. That may only be available on the desktop version. I'm just really not that familiar with this side of it. Anyways, wanted to give a quick tour, a quick showing. I need to start getting moving and getting together on my end. Thanks for watching.